48 members of parliament from Mount Kenya have rejected the call-up from Ruto to join him in his Mount Kenya tour this weekend. 48 members of parliament. You can take it like, you can digest that 48 members of parliament have rejected the call-up by President Ruto to join him for his Mount Kenya tour that is supposed to start at the end of this week. Reasons as to why they have done this, we are going to look at all the possibilities as to why they have rejected this call-up. So, but first and foremost, if you are new to this platform and you are coming here for the first time, I'd like you to take a second to subscribe and to hit the notification bell so that anytime I post a new video, you'll always be the first to watch. My name is the African Updater, and what we do here, we analyze politics. So take a second, subscribe and hit the
African Update.
So thank you for those who have subscribed. So as I've said, that 48 members of parliament have rejected the call-up by President Ruto to join him for Mount Kenya tour that is supposed to start at the end of this week. As you all know, that the president has been doing a lot of tour in various parts of the country. He started all these tours in Nyanza, then he went to Western, then he went to Coast region, then he went to Northeastern, then he went to he did a tour of Nairobi, which was very, very disastrous, because the outcome was it did not only expose how he has lost influence, but also exposed other things. But now he's trying to do the tour of Mount Kenya. Why did these MPs, why have these MPs rejected this call-up? First, this call-up was supposed to be done, and the person who was supposed to mobilize these members of parliament is none other than Kithure Kindiki, who is the deputy president. Apparently, Kithure Kindiki called these members of parliament, and they went, majority went, some did not go. But you can see, like, there was that cold reception. Like, when he was speaking, members of parliament were not, like, anyway excited. So this tour that the president is doing, which is dubbed as development tour, like, is going to assess the Kenol Marua road, that how the progress is going, the construction and everything. Some of these members of parliament are not happy with this tour, and are not turning, and have shown no interest of joining the president in this tour. We just want to look at the reasons as to why they have done this. As to why they are not excited like before. You remember that Mount Kenya used to be like Ruto used to be like the kingpin of Mount Kenya, and they came in large numbers and supported him, and used to go there and used to tour, and they used to call him all sorts of names, and they used to praise him and everything. But now that thing shifted. Now Mount Kenya are no longer excited about Ruto, the president, and everything. All is coming, his tours and everything. Why? First and foremost is because of the impeachment of Gachagua. You know, Gachagua was like their perceived kingpin after Uhuru left the office and everything. So the impeachment of Gachagua made Mount Kenya, like, they felt like it was a betrayal, that Ruto betrayed them and everything. So that is like the number one reason, the first reason why I feel like the Mount Kenya are no longer interested in Ruto. Even though they replaced him with Kindiki, that has not quenched the anger of the Mount Kenya people. Because remember, Kindiki is still not a Kikuyu. Kindiki comes from Tharaka Nithi. So the Mount Kenya people feel like the Kikuyu community feels like they still, like, they are not part of that government, only just on the fact that they supported the president, they came out in large numbers to vote for him, and now the president went ahead and impeached one of their own, and then replaced with another person who they consider like he's not like from their immediate community. So that is like the first reason why the ground rejected like are hostile to the president. And you know, in Mount Kenya, like, it's unlike any other region that Mount Kenya people follow the leader. No, sorry, leaders follow the people. So the ground has really shifted, and the president knows this. That's why he, since the impeachment of Gachagua, and then he went to Embu. You remember when he went to Embu, and then he was talking about housing nini, and he was booed in front of Kindiki. Kindiki was there, the former deputy president, the former president was there, Uhuru Kenyatta, and the people literally booed him. And subsequent to that, there are those people that the president even went, kumekuwa na a lot of, like he has been sending a lot of emissaries to go and read his messages in Mount Kenya, and people have been rejecting those messages. Even in churches, people have been rejecting. One of the person who went to read the president's message and people rejected was Justin Muturi. So the president is trying to see, if I go to Mount Kenya, is the reception still the same? So I'm going to give all the possibilities as to why the Mount Kenya people are rejecting the president, and why also the president feels like he needs to go to Mount Kenya at this time. So first and for the second reason, besides the impeachment of Gachagua, the second reason is the development. That President Ruto has not brought any significant development in Mount Kenya that he had promised them earlier. He has not brought any significant changes in terms of development in Mount Kenya. So people are not happy with him because they feel like you have not done us justice. We served you, we gave you our votes, but no development has come to our region. You've been taking development to other regions. So that is also another reason why I feel like the ground has been hostile to him. The second reason is that President Ruto's dalliance with other regions. He has decided to shift, and now he's working with Raila, a man that is perceived to be like an enemy of the people in Mount Kenya, a man that is so much hated in Mount Kenya. Ruto has turned, and now he's now working with him. He has even given him so many ministries, some cabinet positions in his government, that they even struck a deal of 50-50 with ODM and Nini. So where does that leave Mount Kenya? That one has also angered the people of Mount Kenya. Some of them feel like they are now no longer part of this government that they supported, and this man that they really campaigned for is now no longer considering them in any position. And you can see that President Ruto has went ahead and replaced even those members from Mount Kenya who are sitting in very crucial committees in the National Assembly. And some of the victims are people like Ndindi Nyoro and so forth. So the ground is itaendelea kuwa hostile because they stand no benefit. They are looking at all these things and they feel like, no, your president, you have done more harm to us than good. No, and so we have no reason of supporting you. You get? Another reason is that he has not really supported things like coffee farmers and tea farmers in that region, which he had promised. Unaelewa? He has been giving some fake promises of how he's going to help them, how he's going to give them to support their businesses and everything, but that has not been working. The Miraa business has been failing, and all those things that are very crucial in Mount Kenya, things like coffee, things like tea, things like Miraa. So the president has not really come out to support these people and to show them that, to allocate funds to support some of these crucial sectors in that region. So that one has also has given more reason for these people to reject him in that region. So another thing is that the president cut funds, like some of the development project that Uhuru had started, like that road that is now going to inspect. These funds, Ruto had withdrawn funds for some of these projects that the former president had started for that region, the development that was going in that region. Ruto had stopped them, and now they feel like we supported you, and Uhuru had started some of these projects in this region, and now you are umekuja and you have stopped this project, and now you are taking these funds to other regions. So they are left exposed. They are left like, you don't care about us. Some of these development projects, some of these projects that were supposed to help us, like this road and some dams that were supposed to be done, and funds were allocated, you've diverted those funds to other regions. So they see no need of of campaigning, of standing with you. So the president has been left exposed in Mount Kenya. The president has no support in Mount Kenya, and the reason for him staying away from Mount Kenya is because the ground was been so much hostile, and you can see it from the people that he has been sending. Even Kindiki himself has not really done his homecoming in Mount Kenya because the ground has been so much hostile to even the deputy president himself. You get? So for me, I feel like those are the region, the all the possibilities why I feel like the president, things have not been working, and why people are staying away from the president in that region. And as I told you, that now, since the impeachment of Gachagua has also been another headache to the president in that region. Gachagua has tried everything within his means to make sure that he locks the president out of Mount Kenya kabisa. He has been decampaigning him and decampaigning, and now he's turning out to be the new kingpin of that region. People are now following him, people are now listening to him, and members of parliament who are now worried about their seat and everything are now trying to realign with Gachagua. So most members of parliament feels like if they accompany the president to this Mount Kenya tour, they'll be watakuwa wanajizika kisiasa completely. So they fear. That's why most of them don't want to turn up, because they know if they turn up and the ground wamewaona na president, that is really the end of their political career. Because apparently Mount Kenya is the only region that when it comes to election, they always replace 90%, not even 95% of their members of their elected members of parliament who wanaenda nyumbani. 95% in every election. Like Mount Kenya always votes out members of parliament. So anyone who is seen to be a traitor, to be working with Ruto, to be on the side of Ruto, stands a higher chance of going home in 2027. So they don't want to take that risk. They don't want to gamble that risk. That's why most of them are staying off from this campaign, from this tour of Mount Kenya, because they know that at the end of the day, the president is only going to come up with big promises, and then he's going to fulfill nothing. There's going to be a cabinet shakeup coming very soon, and this cabinet shakeup, some of the Mount Kenya members of parliament are still going to lose their seat because of the 50-50 deal with Raila. So the people, the members, the cabinet, those politicians from Mount Kenya don't want to take that gamble. They don't want to lose their seats, and they don't want to be seen to be associating with Ruto, because because the reality on the ground is that UDA has died in Mount Kenya, and no one wants to associate with that party anymore. So that is the reason why these members of parliament feels like they can't associate with that tour, because they'll be watakuwa wanajizika kisiasa. No, they want to stay away from Ruto as much as possible. So either they are aligned with Gachagua, or they stay away completely from Mount Kenya. You get? No, from associating with the president. So there's that deliberate attempt from even Gachagua to make sure that the president is locked out of Mount Kenya strong kabisa. Now, let me finalize by looking at this. Why is the president going to Mount Kenya now and not any other time? Why is he trying now to do that tour of Mount Kenya now? From all the things that I'm looking at and all the possibilities that I'm looking at, I feel like the president has done his mathematics, and he has realized that at the end of the day, he has only two options. Either he gets a section of Mount Kenya, or he divides Mount Kenya completely. If he wants to stand any chance in 2027, he must make sure that Mount Kenya do not vote in one place. That is politics, and that is the matrix. If he wants to stand any chance of even coming second in the presidential race, if at all he will miss the first place, he must make sure that the Mount Kenya votes are as splitted and as divided as possible. And that's why he has tried so much within his means to make sure that he divides the Mount Kenya East and the Mount Kenya West politically. That he creates a rift between these people politically. Apparently this has failed. Apparently this is not turning out the way he expected, because he expected that if he is going to pick maybe Kithure Kindiki, then the people from the east are going to be happy, and then the people from the west are going to speak, and then the Kikuyus are going to be disappointed, and then they are going to pick some political differences with the people from the Meru and the Embus. But apparently this has not worked, because even the area that the president has tried to go to, which is now the east after the appointment of Kindiki, he has been booed, and his messages have been declined, and all these sorts of things. Yet even Gachagua himself doesn't come from that community. He comes from the Kikuyu community. So that unity of that approach of dividing these people has failed. And you know, our president has placed that politics of divide and rule. That is the politics that he plays, which for me I can't blame him, because in politics there are no rules. As long as you get to your goal, politics has no rules. So don't take politicians as pastors. They are not pastors. They apply anything on the book just to make sure they get to where they are. Their end goal is their interest and where they are going. So they don't care who they stumble upon, who they brush aside, and everything, and what they do. The president has done this successfully when in 2022, when he pushed deliberately that narrative of Raila and Nini, and it worked in Mount Kenya, because people were against Raila. He called Raila Mganga, he called on all sort of name, and that one made people to galvanize behind him, because the people from Mount Kenya could see like this is a man we associate with, because he's a man who also doesn't like this person that we don't like. And that is how he was able to create that rift between the Mount Kenya people and the other people who support Raila, the other region who support Raila. And that is how he was able to rise to power. Now he wanted to shift that course in Nyanza, and now he's trying to push to bring Nyanza people together, and now and now you can see there's a deliberate attempt whereby people from Nyanza and people from the Luo community are now saying that it is that Ruto kumi bila break, because they feel like they want to punish the people from Mount Kenya. Now that is the narrative being pushed. That is the narrative being pushed on the ground, and you can see clearly there are those people who are saying, oh, we are going to move this way because you are not, because last time you people pia huyu mtu mwenye muli support, sasa pia sisi tunaenda kumsupport ndo tuwapunish. So this is the politics of divide and rule, and most Kenyans don't understand. Most Kenyans are naive. Most Kenyans don't understand how politicians operate. So that is the approach that is being done. So, and that's why the president now feels like, if I go to Mount Kenya, of course I'm going to create a shake-up with Gachagua. I'm going to create a shake-up with Gachagua, and don't be surprised if the president focuses most of his tour in Meru, in Embu, and in Tharaka Nithi. Don't be surprised, because that is the region whereby he must create this difference. He must create this rift. He must create this political difference. That is his approach. The president is not looking at getting votes in Mount Kenya. That is not his interest. He's not interested in those votes, because he knows very well that those people are not going to support him. But if he pushes his agenda in Mount Kenya East, and he tries to divide, at least tries to create that differences between the two, he might just end up getting the votes of Mount Kenya East, and of the Meru and the Meru and the Embu votes. He might just end up getting a vote, and that way he'll have split those votes into maybe two or something. So this is what the president is looking at as to when this will be successful and everything, because in terms of development, trust you me, there's no development that is going to go there. We all know our president keeps on giving promises. Some are realistic, some are unrealistic, some are realistic, but at the end of the day, those promises never come to fulfillment. That is the reality. So that is what is happening, and that is why some of these Mount Kenya MPs are staying out of this tour. I've given my reasons, and I feel that is what we are looking at here. So you can also share your opinion and your views, and as to why you feel like these members of parliament are not showing up for this for the president's tour. Share it in the comment section. But I also, as always, say, remain objective, and remain respectful. Do not insult people in the comment section. Just share what you think and ask evil. So thank you guys, till next time, bye.